Hey, what's up, man?
What's up? What's up?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Check one, two,
sir.
check one, two, check one, two, check one, two. Yeah. Thank you for having me, man. Uh, First time I meet you. I mean, I knew about you on Twitter and stuff like that, but you reached out, so I appreciate it. I appreciate having me here. Yeah, I started doing content like 4 years ago. I'm gonna do it quick. 4 years ago, just more than 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Wow.
Just on Twitch. I used to be called the king of giveaways on back in the Fortnite days. My channel grew pretty big, like pretty big for at the beginning of Fortnite.
Yeah.
And then I kind of wanted to expand into other games, and that kind of like also killed my channel too, because that's just kind of how it is. Fortnite was the one to play. And then 5 years ago, I've been in crypto at the same time simultaneously, and I knew about NFTs and stuff like that when Crypto Kitties came out, but I never really got into it until like late 2020, where I was like, okay, let me see if there's any blockchain games out there. So I found one game called Hash Rush, which is actually a pretty good game. They're still building, but they had a pretty good build at that moment, and I played it. I played that one. Then I played Lost Relics, and then I found Axie through an article that my brother sent me. And I saw that you could like earn money, but in reality, that didn't bring me into Axie. The money didn't bring me. I actually tweeted about it, like, "Hey, what is this? Like, okay, you can earn money, but this is boring." So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
somebody replied to me, and they told me, "Oh, there's land gameplay." And I was like, "Land gameplay, like an MMO," and I was like, "Oh, okay, wait." Now everything clicked. Like, it wasn't about the cards. This was just a minimum viable product to take the concept and put it into like a big world like Pokemon or any other world like Mario or whatever, right? Like, they all have like big worlds with
Yeah.
like a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of games. So everything clicked there. And I was like, dude, I'm just gonna apply the same strategy that I had, play a bunch of games, but in the NFT world. So that's why like I basically know most of the games that were going on in 2020. There was like maybe like 20. Now that we have so many that I miss a lot of them. So that's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much my
And
story.
it's probably good that you miss a lot of them. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
um. So being early in the space, I think you've gained kind of a lot more knowledge than I would say the general consensus of people or just the average play to earn gamer. Um. So I know everyone has a lot of different opinions about you and maybe your views. Um. And maybe some of them call you, let's say, a fudder or someone who's trying to, take the man down. Do you think this kind of evolved over time, or did you want this, or what exactly happened?
I think it's a simple fact that there's a bunch of haters, right?
Yeah.
They're scared of talking, of saying what they think. They have a persona, which I also do have a persona. Like if you meet me in person, I'm probably not gonna be like this, just because I already put my energy on the online persona. Like I used to be a crazy motherfucker, right? But now, like all this energy that I have, I put it in my videos, in my content, and all of that stuff. So if you meet me in person, I'm probably gonna be like way more chill because I'm already like tired, like of being that person. But
Yeah.
that's me. That's really me. Um, and yeah, there's a bunch of haters out there. They don't like the fact that I'm straight up, right? That I say things how I see them. And I wasn't trying to FUD any game, Axie or I mean, actually I have I have millions of dollars in Axie right now, farming literally. So between me and my brother, we have more than $1 million farming. So it's not in my best interest. I could just sit here on Twitter and be like, I love Axie, right? I love Axie. Oh my God, it's incredible community. Yes, it's an incredible community, but the community is complaining for a lot of things, right? So as a community member, you either talk about that or you shut up and kind of like follow the book, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everybody has different opinions, and I feel like there's a lot of people that are not being represented. I'm not saying like what, for example, Bryson is doing or the other one is doing, like just saying I love Axie every single day is a bad thing, but there's also a community that is part of the community that is not represented, that is frustrated, right?
Yeah.
That wants some type of answers. And that's where I come in, and I kind of play both sides. When things are going really good, like I'm not gonna go trash it, right? But if things are going bad, I'm gonna be like, hey, we need to do something about this. How can we work around this, right? So that's kind of where I come from. And I've done it with other games too. I did it with Lost Relics. Lost Relics. I have thousands of dollars invested there, and I try to help Lost Relics and told them about like um, governance tokens. I told them about doing a sale in their Telegram.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
tried to help them, and look now, that was 1 year ago. Look now, any game that doesn't have a governance token or doesn't have a token is literally not part of the play to earn ecosystem, right? And Lost Relics doesn't have one. So it's like I told you, this was the trend. You have to like evolve with the trend. So I've
So
done it
you're
with many
not
games.
you're not necessarily, fighting or against these projects. You're kind of just giving them some tough love and you're helping them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe the way I do it, which I will agree, sometimes it's not the best way just because I get frustrated, right? I get frustrated that they don't take action. They don't take action. I'm all about action, right? Like if I told you, for example, in terms of Lost Relics, if I gave you this alpha a few times, like chill, like super chill, it wasn't like, oh, like I actually talked to the dev. I told them, look, this was going on. I showed them Avigachi. I showed them Axie Infinity. I send them the links,
Mm-hmm.
right? I send them articles to, and there was no action. There was no action. And I have
Ooh.
like thousands of dollars in the game. I'm like, bro, this is the next wave. You have to get into this. Like, you have to understand it at least. And and then the people in the chat would tell me, "Oh, you just want to make money." It wasn't about money. It was about making an ecosystem that evolves, right? Like you have to evolve. You have to evolve, and it was evolving. Like mid 2020s, it was evolving. Aavegotchi did it, a governance token, and Axie Infinity as well. And Aavegotchi implemented the governance token right away. Right now in Aavegotchi, you can actually vote and propose
Wow.
on chain, right?
Wow.
So
We're
so
gonna
what
get
are we
into that.
doing?
We're gonna get into that
Yeah.
later actually too. So I wanna cut you off right there because we're gonna talk about Axie specifically in the back end of
Mhm.
this interview and their AXS governing token. So last kind of personal question. Um, you kind of have, like you mentioned earlier, your internet personality. Do you feel pressured to be this person on the internet, or now that you're gaining a lot of followers, a lot of attention, do you feel even more pressure to act a certain way?
No, not really. Not really. I'm like it just it really is in me to be like this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um I've done crazy stuff in my life, and it's just kind of part of my personality. And there's moments where I'm like way more chill. I just literally go with how I feel. Like I don't wake up and be like, I'm gonna be mad today. Now, if I'm mad of something and it comes to my head, I do it. If I'm happy about something, I say it. If I am like, if I have a thought about like, I don't know, how something can be better, then I write it. You know, like
Yeah.
I just
That's
tweeted
just
right
you.
now recently. Yeah, I just tweeted right now recently about something I was remembering about this girl that I sent her. I gave her flowers. I gave her a love letter, and I remember that literally killed my game. That was back in high school, right? So I just remember that I just tweeted it. Like I wasn't trying to look for that. Like let me, like I
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Okay. No, I feel that definitely. You're just kind of being yourself and you're kind of rolling with the punches. Um,
Mhm.
so I want to talk about kind of the play to earn games in general. Just a state of everything as well as some specifics. So I know that you do a lot of research about games, specifically play to earn. You were, doing research before I even knew what a play to earn was, as well as a lot of the other people in the community. So do you have maybe, the top three projects right now that are currently out that you're playing or that you think are fun or that you want other people to take a look at?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, number one is Axie. That's like you need to have like something in Axie, right? At
Yeah,
least some type of exposure to Axie, whether it's through running or AXS. I would say probably running if you don't like the Axie game, because there's gonna be many other games in Axie and in the running ecosystem. That's for sure, right? So that's that. Then absolutely Illuvium. It's not out yet, but I mean, bro, these people are delivering, bro. Like you can see, they're not afraid of showing you anything, the building process, and that gives you confidence.
hmm,
That gives you a 100%. And some people are like, oh, but that game is not even out, bro. But they're showing you everything, the whole process. I seen videos that were trash at the beginning, like a little bit laggy, like the frame rate not so good, and now they just came out with a gameplay video that looks insane.
I
That
saw
looks
that.
insane, the
I saw
open
that.
world, right? So they're showing you the whole process. They're not afraid because they know, they're confident in their IP. They're confident in their IP that people are not, yeah, go try to copy it. You're not gonna, and I feel like Axie has that, right? In that sense, like it has a community. Yeah, go copy it, like whatever, dude. Like who cares? Go
Yeah.
copy it. Axie is Axie, right? So I like that in Illuvium. Then you got Thean and Arena. It's a very very fun game, but we still have to see how the economy develops there.
I
It's
actually I talked about that one, and I took a lot of heat because I saw some problems with their economy like you just mentioned. So what do you think's wrong with that?
I mean, it really comes down to the utility. It's really like what. So okay, I got this token, and then I buy more boxes. Okay, so like what, Also, the characters have a limit. Um, I don't know. It's just not. I would have to like think about it a little bit more, but I would like to hear your thoughts. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see enough uses for THC. People were earning a ton of it, stuff like that. That's just what I thought. But the interview's not about me. It's more about you. Um,
All
so
right.
I know we're talking about things that are out right now, besides the Illuvium. Um, are there one or two projects you want to talk about that you're waiting for, potentially that are
Yeah, yeah.
on the way?
There's a bunch actually. You got Aurori on Solana. I've been telling people like, bro, Aurori's gonna blow up. Like, I'm not even like, bro. I don't like. Look, I'm invested in this. Of course, I'm gonna make a shit ton of money. I'll tell you right now, but it's gonna blow up. It's out of my hands. This is not like me pumping it. Like, these people have partnerships with TSM, FTX. Like, they're in, bro. Like, they're in. They're building. The developers behind this are people that come from AAA games, right? That's another critique I have from Axie that we'll talk about it later. AAA games, it gives you confidence. They're showing the project, they're building. They've only been here like 6 months. They already have a product that is decent, right? You can see it on their Twitter. Um, and it's just on a chain that you don't have to pay any gas. Like, you literally go to Binance
It's
or
huge.
ftx.com, you get the soul token, and then you swap it for Aurora, and it's only $13, right? $13, and at a market cap, which is very important for people to understand this. Market cap is what matters, not the actual price. So if you see, like, for example, Illuvium price is at $1,000, but the market cap is what really matters there, not the price. The price is deceiving. It's deceiving. So I actually like that about Illuvium because it allows people that don't know anything about anything to not invest, right? Only the people that
Yeah.
know invest. So Aurora right now is at a fully diluted market cap of a $1.3 billion, right? Without being out. If we see Illuvium, for example, Illuvium at a fully diluted is at 11 billion. I mean, that's a 10x for sure. Like, for Aurora, for sure it's a 10x, right? Like, in my opinion, anyways. Um, and then you got, I don't know, let's see another game like Star Atlas, like Polish token, which is the governance token. Let's see how much the market cap is. I mean, fully diluted at 2 bill, right? Fully diluted at 2 bill, the Polish token. I mean, Aurora absolutely can get to 2 bill. That's a 2x. So I want people to find other opportunities too, right? Like, and that's how you build leverage against other games. If there's a game that is like not delivering,
Yeah.
if there's a game that is not community oriented, and we're not talking about Axie here in specific, we're talking about in general. Um, you just kind of like leave. You're like, bro, I got 5 other projects that I like. Like, what's up? I'm out. That's how you build leverage as an investor.
Yeah. No, exactly. Exactly. So
So
speaking about the kind of great projects that are up and coming, um, do you have any type of like paid partnership or sponsorship with any of them that you maybe want to share right now?
yeah, I have a bunch of like early investments in a lot of these games. um I also have like partnerships with Uniquely, Index Coop. None of them right now. I have a partnership like on a video to video basis. I always say it in my videos. Like, I just did a video on Sin City. They paid me, right? So
Okay.
I said it there in the video. Um, but nothing is long term. Once I invest, I kind of like take over as a partner without signing any contracts, right? Like, for example, I'm invested in Axie, and that's my project. Like, I take it as my project, right? I'm invested in Illuvium. Well, Illuvium did pay me. Illuvium did pay me because I asked Kieran, like, "Yo, hook me up." He's like, "Yo, I got you," right? Like, that's it.
Okay. Yeah.
And I said it too in my videos, right? So yeah, I had partnerships before. Right now, I don't have a partnership with Illuvium. right? Like they paid me like last month, this month, and like the next month, I don't know if I'm gonna get paid or not, but I'm still gonna do videos on Illuvium because I've been doing it anyway. So
And you like it.
Illuvium, yeah, hell
Yeah.
yeah, man. Like the open world. Look, the open world is what I'm looking for. Aurora, same thing. It has a little. It's not an open world per se, but it has a world, and those are the things that I'm gonna farm. Because I'm gonna go to the open world in Illuvium. I'm gonna capture the Illuviums. I'm gonna sell it. I'm not gonna buy. I'm not gonna play the team fight tactics gameplay. Most
Okay.
likely, maybe I'll play it a little bit, but I like to explore. So Aurora and Illuvium have those two aspects, and Axie Infinity, like I told you earlier, the reason I went in is because you got the open world, which is like the MMO, the
The
land
land.
gameplay. Yeah, I don't care about the other things, right? I know they come into play together, but I don't care. My economy is going to be based on games that you can explore, right? Like you can have content, right? Like real content.
There you go.
So,
Okay. So, a lot of people have been kind of, on the fence about play to earn in general lately. Some people are saying it's kind of like a pump and dump with a game skin on it. You can't continue to support the model unless there's new players coming in. It's a big pyramid scheme, something like that. So do you think the PTE model is sustainable? Why or why not?
yeah, it's a Ponzi, like anything in life. Bitcoin's a Ponzi. I mean, people stop coming into Bitcoin and believing in Bitcoin, it dies. Of course, it's a Ponzi. Everything's a Ponzi. This platform is a Ponzi. I mean, you stop watching people here, and like that's it. It dies. It's all about like building something in that Ponzi. Let's just call it like
All
that.
right.
Building something in that Ponzi that is interesting to stay, right? I mean, entertainment itself is just like, you go into a game, you pay your assets, right? And then if you're willing to participate in that game because you enjoy it, and that's why I focus so much on enjoying it, right? Once I enjoy what I'm doing within that game, I don't care what I'm paying, especially people that are millionaires, right? Um, there are some YouTube interviews that I have shared before of people
Hmm.
playing like MMOs that they have paid thousands of dollars in the black markets just to get like, there's this guy that spends like 150,000 right now in crypto. That's nothing. 150,000 a year in one of these games. I'm gonna look for the interview and I'm gonna share it, right? So people understand that this is not something new. People have done it in WoW. People have done it in Entropia. People have done it in EverQuest. 1999. 1999. You guys got to understand that play to earn is not new. So as long as people are willing to participate in an economy, we're good. But why are people willing to participate in that economy? Because they enjoy it, right? And there's some people that are
Yeah.
going to extract value, and some people are going to inject value. Not everybody's going to win, right? If everybody tries to take the money out, then nobody wins, right? And that's why you got to make a game where people are actually enjoying the ecosystem. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why I'm not even worried about the people now. We're early, we're good, right? But we got to make something for the millions of people that are coming so that they can enjoy, right? They can
So
enjoy
you're
the
saying
ecosystem.
it needs to be kind of like a game, similar to, let's say, League of Legends, where you just buy skins because you want them. They don't
Hmm.
earn you anything. You just want to play with them. And that's the
Oh,
way
that's
we're gonna
another
support
model.
the system.
That's another model. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So okay. There is the model like Axie that everything is tokenized, everything you own, right? And the reason it works is because people are willing to participate. Period. Once people are not willing to participate, it dies, right?
Mm.
And how do you retain people in that participation? You have to make it fun. You have to make it fun. You have to make a world where people are like, "Holy shit, I want to be part of this." Cool. Now you got the games like like Valorant, like Call of Duty or whatever, they're probably not gonna have play to earn, but they're gonna have rare skin drops, right? You're
Yeah.
gonna buy those, and then you can sell them, right? And you can verify on the blockchain that they're yours. Nothing changes, right? It's simply now that you own those skins instead of like the game just giving you the rights to use it in the game, and that's it. So that's a big change there. So we're gonna have different models, and we're gonna have also hybrid models like Ember Sword, where there's no token in Ember Sword. Like there is no token in-game token. Like it's a gold. It's literal gold like any other MMO. But the skins that you find in the game are NFTs, and those skins you can sell it in the market. A percentage that it gets sold in the market goes to the people that own land, right? And that's it. That's all there is to it. So that's a hybrid. It has some NFT aspects, but then the in-game economy is not tokenized. Only the skins and the pets. Nothing that gives you power. So yeah, there's gonna be like hybrids of this. Like it's not gonna be everything like Axie. It's not gonna be everything like only skins. There's gonna be hybrids, and I don't think we have found the right play to earn yet. I mean,
I
there's a lot to explore.
I agree. And then let's go off that sentence what you just said. We haven't found the right play to earn yet. So, once a game labels themselves as play to earn, let's say Data and Arena, right?
Mhm.
Do you think, once the economy crashes, do you think people leave that game, they don't come back? Or do you think they can, rebrand themselves and maybe come out in the future as, just a fun game, you can earn a little on the side, or do you think that's a dead project?
Bam, man. That's a hard question. I would say once your economy dies, people have like PTSD when it comes to money, right? And like,
Yeah, it's
of
it's not
course,
just a
sorry,
game. You're making a game and an economy.
and an economy, it's a real economy, right? So, definitely, it could die, and that could happen to any game actually, to any game, and that's why things like Axie, Illuvium, Aurori, Star Atlas, what else? Ember Sword. Ember Sword took a good route. I criticized them at the beginning very, very hard, by the way. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I criticized Ember Sword so hard that I had the developer like hit me up and like, let's have a conversation. Let's do an interview so you understand what we're trying to do, right? And we did it. And then I took down the video that I was criticizing because he came up, he stepped up, and he spoke on it, right?
Yeah,
On what was going on.
I remember that
And
video.
I took it down. I took down the video because I'm fair, right? Okay, you already addressed it. I'll take it down. And he didn't even tell me to take it down. I took it down. So the point is that games like Illuvium, Axie, the sandbox too, very, very important.
Ooh,
These are like IPs for the future. Like it's not only what they have now, they're trying to build IPs. You got Cypher too that wants to build not only the mobile they have, they want to like
yes,
expand, right?
sir.
Like, they want to make toys, they want to make all this stuff, right? Like Star Atlas, I've talked to Star Atlas and I told them like, yo, you make a movie on Netflix, it's over, right? They have the assets to make a movie on Unreal Engine 5. You make a movie on Netflix, and then you get a bunch of people joining Star Atlas through
That
that
would be
movie.
crazy. Yeah.
So they're willing to do that, and they told me we're looking into it. Maybe in the future we can do something like that. That's it. And they answer to that request, or not that request, but that idea. And sometimes in Axie there is no rebound, right? Like there's no communication. Like you have an idea, and it's like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, dude. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, there's a lot of buzz about kind of content creators like you and me. We kind of have an important role, getting people to know about play to earn in general. So a lot of talk has been about kind of a referral link, a creator code, something like that. What are your thoughts on that? And then is there maybe a better way to go about this?
Um, I think creator codes have worked. Sometimes we want to reinvent the wheel. I mean, we are in the NFT world, so there is a few things that we can add to that. I would say, first, creator code as a base. The creator code, a percentage of the marketplace fees. Whether it's right now, what do we have in the marketplace? 4.25%, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's that.
Yeah, you can just take like like a minuscule, that like less than 1%, right? And give it to the creators, way less,
A
right?
quarter of a
Whatever
percent,
the
an eighth of a
Yeah,
percent, probably.
quarter,
Yeah.
exactly, whatever. And at the end of the day, it ends up being that whoever works the hardest on YouTube, on Twitch, on their Twitter is the one that earns more. Not on favoritism. Like, oh yeah, here, we're gonna pay this person. And Axie's at that point. Axie's not in the promo point. Like, there are games that are in the promotion stage, and yes, they're gonna. That makes sense to pick favorites at that moment. Like, okay, we're starting our game and we need people. So let me pay Cagy, let me pay Dave, let me pay Nash, let me pay whoever the hell, right? That makes sense. That makes sense. But Axie is already big, and there's a lot of people working for the Axie ecosystem to work, right? And I feel like not only content creators, but also guilds. Also guilds. How much money is our guilds spending, right? And the people under those guilds are spending. Like, I know guilds that have 40K, 30K people. So, guilds
It's a lot.
deserve also a creator code or a guild code, right? Um, so that's that. And then on top of that, you can add like some type of like rewards, almost like a leveling reward, right? So let's say a bunch of people buy, and then you like level 1, level 2, level 3, level
Oh,
4,
okay. I like that.
right?
That's kind of like Clash of Clans, where maybe not the amount of people, but like kind of the longer your guild has been together, you get different tiers.
hmm Exactly. So you can apply something like that with the creator code, based on volume, transactions, whatever the metric is. And then, if it's level 1, there might be an NFT, right? There might be an NFT, and it could be literally it could be even like a box, like let's say like a gift box, and you don't know what you're gonna get.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
randomized, brrr, and something. So you get something. It could be like common. It could be like super rare, um, and like a skin or something like that. Then level 2, you get like 500 SLP. I'm just saying numbers here.
Yeah.
And then level 3, you get fucking, I don't know, like 10 AXS, right? So now you gamifying the fact that creators are working, but also with a percentage, I believe, because it's also not fair that all the money is going to the treasury, and although the treasury gives back to the people that are invested, but let's be honest, the treasury is mostly the Axie Infinity team, right? And right now they have full control of it. So that's the truth. There is no decentralization right now in Axie,
Right now.
and we
Yeah.
should be pushing. We should be pushing for that. Like not like right away, like we want it now, but we should never forget that this game is built. It's a community game. A lot of people are like, "Oh no, but the devs they know better." No, it's a community game. We know better, right? Like we. I know they have their vision from the beginning, and I respect that. I respect that. But there's millions of people invested in the game, and the idea was from the beginning to be a community-owned game, player-owned economy. If
Yep.
that's not the idea, let me know right now. Let me know right now. You let me know right now if that's not the idea, and I get out, right? If that's not it, I'm out, because that's what I bought into, right? The idea that we all can have a say, that we all can have an opinion, right? And this idea of like Psycho been doing this, like taking people out, blocking them. I mean, from the personal ones, it's okay, but blocking them from Axie Infinity, you know, like blocking them on Discord, everything is a FUD, and that's just not how it works for me. That's just not how it works. You just gotta
Yeah.
be either stay quiet, or you come not confront it, but you you reply to those FUDs,
You squash the FUD.
like yeah, you squash the FUD with numbers, with intelligence, right? Not just like, oh, I'm banning this guy FUD. Like that's not
Yeah.
how it works, man. That's not how it
Let's
works. And that's for Psych Out, by the way.
there you go. Calling out Psych out a little bit there, but let's get into Axie now. So I want to talk specifically about Axie, the back half of this interview. Let's go straight to the DAO we were talking about. So, um, a lot of people they want the power back into the game, but other people are saying, you know what? I don't trust the general population to own my game. I don't think they're gonna make the right decisions. I think they'll just pump their own bags and maybe kill the economy. And they're gonna vote to do that. So do you think this is true? Do you think that maybe forming a DAO with too much power could be a problem for Axie Infinity?
Not at all, actually. Not at all. Not at all, because actually has full power right now. Actually has right now the percentage that actually has in AXS is like they literally they can squash any proposal. Not only at a company level, but also at a personal level. Like obviously they get paid, right? The developers get paid. They have their money in AXS. Um, and then the company as Sky Mavis also has their money in AXS. And then on top of that, they have a lot of partnerships. I mean, YGG, like YGG is partnered
Oh
up basically
yeah.
with Axie. I mean, Gabby invested in Sky Mavis, right? So I mean, there's a conflict of interest there, to be honest. But still, like they have a lot of people on their side. So if they want to squash a proposal, they'll do it. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's not really. That really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's important that the proposal is right there. Everybody can see it, and if it doesn't go through, and somebody like, you know, voted against that proposal, then we can go back in history and say, hey, you voted against this, right? And then the community is like, well, you voted against it, just like in Congress. Like we can go back and see how politicians have like voted for or against something,
Yeah.
and then you could see that and be like, well, I don't trust the judgment of the next vote, right? Like we want this now, we want this, and the community can like the community voice can actually overtake the vote, right? Because at the end of the day, you got to please the community to a certain extent. If you start voting against what the community wants, even if you have the power, let's say you have 50% of the power, just to say a number,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then the other 50, the community has it, and 50% of the community wants something, and then you keep squashing that and just pounding on those proposals, people leave. So 50% of your player base leaves because they see they're not winning any proposal. They're like, I'm out then. You know.
Do you think the
So
community could potentially vote for something that would hurt them in the long term without
yeah,
even knowing it?
yeah, of course it could happen, but there's always the guidance of the devs, right? There's always the guidance and the opinion of the devs, and that's where the devs have to elaborate. They have no choice to elaborate, right? They have
Got
to
it.
be like, look,
Got it.
look, guys, if this is how, if we do this, it could have this repercussions, right? If we do this, it could have this. Based on our experience and based on this data, pam, 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 we should vote for this. This is our opinion. We're gonna vote for this. You guys do you, right? And then people start learning little by little. And I've seen that in Aavegotchi. In Aavegotchi, all the time, there's a proposal, and the devs they come in and they have their opinion. This is our opinion. This is what I think we should do. And people, most of the time, they go for the dev's opinion. Actually, all of the time, because they know better. But it's reflected. Like not reflected, but it pushes the devs to actually, you know, work for those changes, right? To explain the changes. So that's good for the community, and people start learning what's better for the community, what's better for the long term, right? But right now, it's just stay quiet and hopium. Like I don't agree with that.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Um, so right now, I know that you have a lot of criticism for the devs in Axie. Do you think they're doing anything really well right now? Do you maybe want to give them props for anything?
Yeah, of course, the running network. You know,
Ronan.
the running network is fucking insane. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's smooth. It works. I never had a real problem. There are some times where like there has been like kind of slowdowns. You send a transaction, it fails, whatever. But like very minimum, very minimum. So I give them that. I give them that. The problem is that they were building the back end of everything, which is the infrastructure, and I understand it. Like fundamentally, I get it. Infrastructure first, and then we worry about everything else later. But you're not even communicating that. You're not even communicating. 2 months ago or 1 month ago, Jiho's tweeted about um land something, land gameplay. That's hopium. Just say it. Like, just why didn't you say 1 month ago? We're not sure if gameplay is gonna come out. We're still building the infrastructure. Just be straight up, man. Like, what are we doing? And that pisses me off that literally 5 days or 2 days before, or not 2 days, but like mid-December, we get to know that land is not coming out. Like, what is that, bro? Like, why are you playing games like that? You know, like, nah. Like, I've been waiting for land for a year and a half or more, and there's people that have been waiting for longer, but they're not necessarily, you know, they're more investors. Like, they're like, oh yeah, let the devs do everything. No, I want to be involved in this. I want to
Yeah.
be involved, and I'm gonna be vocal about it. So
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. So, I think communication is a kind of a big issue with the devs at this time, because we've seen a lot of different people voice their opinions on Twitter, a lot of actual, hate towards the devs, just overall not the best situation for them, community wise. But during all this, the Axie Infinity teams they were posting pictures of them, kind of partying, having fun. Do you think that the devs should keep their personal life separate than what they post on Twitter, versus what they post for Axie on Twitter?
no, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Actually, I'll tell you guys straight up. Like, I've been to these parties, and they're super low budget. People think they're spending mad cash. Actually, I told them, like, bro, why are we not spending more and making Axie look better? We're the number one game. Like, what are we doing here, right? And those are needed parties, ladies and gentlemen. Those are needed parties. So in terms of money, they're not spending a lot of money compared to other games, right? The Gala Games just threw a massive party. That,
Oh
that was
yeah.
millions of dollars. Um, I like it. I like it. But I would even like it more if it was an Axie party, right? Like an Axie event, like boom, go big. I think it's well deserved. I think it's well deserved. But for the people that don't understand, they haven't spent a lot of money. They really haven't. They really haven't. They do things a little bit low budget, and it's good and bad. I feel like events like these, like NFT events, you have to be there. You have to make your presence. You have to make your presence. For me, there needed to be a banner in the middle of Times Square with the most expensive Axie there. Let people know we're here. Let people know. I don't care, right? I think we deserve it, and I think it adds to the pop culture of Axie. So those things I'm down for. Those are marketing 101 that I would love to see. So for me, it's okay what they're doing, and they're doing a super low budget just to like answer it. Like you know, they
Okay.
don't even sponsor these events. You see the Sandbox, you see Gala Games, you see CyberCons, you see all of this. Axie Infinity not there. For me, it needs to be there in every single banner. You go into the event and you see Axie, big as fuck. Boom. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how I see it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty interesting, inside perspective that a lot of people who don't get to go to the Axie meetups didn't know before, including myself. So, going on kind of the criticism of maybe them not sharing as much info as the community would like to see. I kind of thought of something called, we're going to call it the juice loop. Okay. And here's what happens in the juice loop. So people are mad at the Axie Infinity dev team. They're saying, Jiho, we need more leaks. We need to know what's happening, right? So the devs leak some info. And now people are saying, hey, I just spent this much on a, X Axie farm or on a Termi farm. And, now I'm scared to breed because V2 is coming out. I'm not going to breed anymore. So then, the devs they're not going to leak stuff. People are like, I'm too scared to invest now that I know this. And so the devs don't leak anything. And then the cycle continues and they say, hey, why are you not leaking anything? And then, it's just kind of a no-win situation for them. And I was talking to Ziori about this on his Twitter Spaces. So, I mean, do you think this is a problem where really you can't please everyone, or do you think it's a real problem where they actually can do something to make majority of the community happy?
That's fair. That's fair. Um, it doesn't have to be gameplay. I actually agree with that. Like that's a problem there. That's a
Yeah.
problem, and there's literally no way around it, right? People are gonna get mad when the V2 comes out, or people are gonna get mad before the V2 comes out. Period. Right? Like if you leak gameplay, like pure gameplay, with information about a certain axie, people are gonna get mad. If in V2, people are gonna get mad. Oh my god, I just bought all these axies or whatever, blah 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 blah. Some are gonna be happy, like, oh my god, I got a sick ass axie. Whatever changes come, right? So whatever. There's no winning there. But there is no need to do that. There is no need to do that. You can literally leak a 3D design of an axie and the movement of it, like like
Yeah.
every single week. Something that people are looking forward to. Like we know this week there's gonna be a leak. I'm excited for this IP, not not necessarily on the monetary side. Like, oh, how much am I gonna earn? Does my Axie suck or not? It's about being excited for the IP, that you're invested in, right? Like, oh my god, that's a beautiful Axie, that's a beautiful rig, right? Oh, that's a beautiful scenery, or like like
Even
all
just a
these
card,
things.
a single card a week or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah, but the thing about the card goes back to what we were saying, that it has information that can actually affect in a way, like, hey, you know,
Yeah, I mean, it
I
could just be the artwork for the card, something.
exactly. It's literally to maintain people happy about like the IP they're invested in, right? It's like it's so 101 to me. Like it's incredible to me. And then there was this narrative by Ziori, by the way, and I'll take shots at Ziori and Psycho. That people start manipulating the market. Nobody's gonna manipulate anything. Like, of course, people are gonna manipulate if you literally leak something once a month, right? Like once every 3 months. Like, oh my god, this is new. Boom, they buy SOP or they buy AXS. Yeah, there could be some manipulation there. But there is no manipulation if you make it something consistent, something that people are looking forward. It's almost like a community event, right?
Yeah.
It creates content too, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know
or
how much
we say
content.
maybe we say, every Thursday we leak at this time, and people are like, "Oh, wow, let's do Axie chat at that time," or, let's get together, let's make some content about that, create some hype. It doesn't have to be anything huge, but maybe just so we know what's happening. Is that what you're saying?
Hmm. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. So I don't know, man. I feel like there's so many things you can leak. You can literally leak a skin from Axie, like some type of skin or something, like, or whatever they have going on. It could literally be the UI, like a piece of the UI of the new version.
True. Yeah.
It could literally be anything, bro. It could be the map. It could literally be the map of the line gameplay, like just the map, just this little circle, the design. People are like, oh shit, that's the Axie map. Oh my god, that's cool as hell. Like, bro, like just make people like excited about the game. Like, why are you being so quiet and so defensive about everything? You know? And I
It,
feel like it doesn't come from Geos, by the way. I feel like that comes from Psycho.
hmm,
So that's what I feel like. That's what I feel like because that's what I've like experienced with Psycho, like through Twitter, Discord. That's what I've seen. Right? Everything's fun. Right? Everything's fun for him. It's kind of annoying to be honest.
okay. A little interesting take right there. I do want to talk about the gameplay of Axie now and maybe the future of the gameplay too. So, many times you said you don't really like Axie or to play it. You don't think it's a fun game. Is that true?
Yeah, personally, I don't think it's a fun game.
The
Like
current state, the current
the
card game only.
card games,
Yeah.
like in general. Like here's the thing: my shots is not like actually card game sucks and this one's better. No, I don't like card games.
Okay.
But
So you
that's
don't like
that's where
card
I'm at.
games. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the highest elo you've reached in Axie?
Bro, zero. No. I used to play it in the beginning because, like I told you, I'm looking at actually at a long term like like IP, and that's why I'm so invested and interested in making like the part of the marketing in Axie to be not like pumping things, but to have the community always excited to be part of this, to feel like you're building with a team, right? Like
Yeah.
I mean, you just gotta go to the Illuvium Discord, bro, and nobody's gonna complain there because they're seeing what's going on. I mean, maybe they do too much of leaks, but that's their style, right? But actually, it's on the other end, zero leaks, right? And some people are like, "Oh, under promise, over deliver." Okay, cool, bro. That narrative, cool, man. Like, I'm over it. There's 3 million players right now that are trying to understand what is the future of Axie. I'm over it, and I'm invested in Axie, and I want to see this IP succeed. And it's just, I'm over this under promise, over deliver. Like that's true, but a little leaks here and there, it's not over promising.
Okay. Got that. Yeah. So that's gonna kind of bring us to our next question here. I mean, if you haven't played as much Axie as probably, a lot of scholars or a lot of big creators, I mean,
Mhm.
have you really experienced, top tier gameplay of where you actually have to, think before you use a card, or you really kind of, it gets really deep when you play Axie. You have to really think, use your head if you want to climb to the top elos. I mean, have you experienced that type of gameplay before you call it, let's say a boring card game, or you just don't like card games in general?
Okay, let me just explain that. I have played Axie, and I have played against tough opponents to my level. Whatever level I've been playing, like I have played before. I mean, definitely they're tougher than me. So it actually applies at any level. If you're new to Axie and you get beat, like you're thinking, right? Um, so I was to a point in Axie that I understood the cards, right? Like I understood the cards, and there was a lot of things that I didn't understand. Like, why is this crit hitting me? Like, there was a point where like beasts were like absolutely insanely overpowered and they would absolutely destroy me. I don't know if that's like the fact right now, but yeah, there was thinking involved, right? Like, do I use the energy? Like, I understand it very very well. Actually, it's just me putting the time to understand it fully.
The ins
I
and outs
haven't
of the
done that.
game.
The ins and out of everything. That's that. But let me compare Axie or card games to chess. Chess is played by millions of players around the world. It's hard thinking. It's challenging, but it's boring. So this is like chess with a little bit more sparkles.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it, got it. So right now we only have the card game, but we're hoping we don't know what's going to come first. We're hoping we're either going to get land, or I think they're calling it V3 now, not even V2. We're hoping to get some of those soon. Hopefully, Q1, Q2 of next year. If land or V3 flops, as in it's not fun, it's not a fun game to play. What do you think is going to happen to Axie in, the short to midterm? Do you think they're going to go downhill, or do you think people are going to continue to tough it out? What do you think?
Nah, people stay. People stay. I mean, the people in that sense, I agree. Like with the psych out or Jihos or any people from the team, like if you don't like it, get out. Right? Like I agree. I agree. You know, I'm all for testing. I'm all for testing. Um, so I'm down for that. And one of the things that you can do as a game is to not only have like alphas, right, or like private alpha or betas or whatever, right, which is a few people we know, right, like a few people get to experience it
Yeah,
because they know better about the game, blah blah blah, right? That's that. But an open test, right, to break the game, right? So you give the community participation, and you can even like do it through like voting, right? Not voting, but like having AXS. If you have at least one AXS, you can like try like break the game with everybody. Or if you have 10 AXS, right? So you give the ability to people that are invested in the game to go break the game, right? Um, and yeah, you could do things like that. I think Fortnite used to do stuff like that, like test game modes. Like let's see if people like it. If people loved it, it stayed, right?
yeah. Not
It
only
was
that,
like,
there's content too. That's a bunch of content.
mhm. So you could do that. That's one way to like to 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 test that, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, definitely there's people are gonna leave, but there's also a lot of investors that have millions and millions of dollars that are not gonna let this IP go, right? You got
Exactly.
Coco, you got Baronard, you got Enjoy, you got
YGG.
whatever, YGG, Oh Shiny. Like this is not going anywhere. Actually, it's not gonna die. Whoever wants to leave, in that sense, I agree with Psycho, but that doesn't mean that you cannot have an opinion and that you can't ask for things. Once you're invested, this is your game. So you get a say. You get to ask. What you can't do is be like fucking devs, scammers. Like if you do that, they're not gonna answer to you. But if you have like points, like we should do this, number one, boom. Like almost like a proposal. So learn to do proposals, right? Like I did one the other day, pretty short, right? Um, I did a little proposal and I put point one, point two, point three, point four, right? These are the things we need. We want to see who are the developers in Axie. We want to be excited about that too. Like who's working on our game, right?
Yeah,
Who's working on our game? I want to brag about it. I want to be like, yo, we got somebody from fucking Pokemon here. What's up? Like, bro, you know?
exactly, exactly. So you actually think that, regardless of what happens, or if land or V3 isn't the most fun thing in the world, people are gonna stay. What do you think about the price of SLP currently? If it, tends to stay around where we are now, or maybe even goes a little bit lower, do you think people will continue to, invest into the game, breed axes, things like that, or you think people will continue to kind of cool off like things have been going?
I mean, I kind of like a little bit that the SOP is down because it kind of creates a little culture of like, bro, I like this game, right? Like, I like the IP, right?
Exactly.
I don't like the Axie battles, but I like this IP. This IP, I see a lot of future in this IP. I've done a lot of comparisons with Pokemon. Like, we haven't even rolled out, for example, like, merch. We haven't rolled out plushies. We haven't even like expanded into other games. Like, imagine Axie as a Zelda game, like a solo game where you explore this Axie world, right? 3D, and it's like Ocarina of Times, but Axie, right? Like you can take this IP and just plug it into many ideas, right? Just like the Mario world. You got Mario Party, and then you got Mario this, and then you got Mario the other, and then you got Mario the other thing, right? So I feel like actually that's the way it's gonna go as an IP, and that's what people should be excited for. Now the SOP, obviously people got used to the price, and I really don't have a smart say on this. To be honest, I just feel like when other tokens are gonna be introduced, SOP it's not gonna be the main token that people are like using to make money.
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to farm wood. You're gonna be able to farm stone. So you're gonna find like little economies, and you're
Bullish
gonna
on wood.
decide. Yeah, literally, you're gonna find like other resources within the game that you're gonna say like, bro, I'm gonna become an expert stone farmer, and that's what you're gonna sell. And then I'm gonna become an expert wood farmer, and then we're gonna have to trade, right? And
Yeah.
SOP is gonna be for breeding axes, and that's it. And then there's a burning mechanism of the axes, so SOP is always gonna be needed. It's always gonna be needed because you're gonna be burning axes for different things within the land gameplay. The axes that you don't want, like holy shit, like I'm gonna burn this axie or disenchant the axie so I can get some type of like potion or resource that I'm
Something.
gonna use. Yeah, something. So that creates a sinking mechanism, and that's gonna be hard to manage too. Like, get ready because I understand this is not like an easy task, right?
A lot of
It's a
moving
big,
parts. A lot of
a
moving
lot
parts
of
in this
moving parts,
economy.
a lot of moving parts. Yeah, but I think in general, just keep the community excited, bro, for the game. It's not even hyping. It's just like you know, and
Just
you don't have to
give
say
them
like
something. Give them something.
Mhm. You don't have to say like this is gonna be the best fucking MMO. Like you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Just give a little thing, little something. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I get that. So, we're nearing the end here, but there's something really important I want to talk to you about. Um, I've actually noticed that the team, specifically Jiho, it seems like he's actually been noticing the criticism. He's been posting, this is what we need to do to improve. It's coming. And I feel like in the past, let's say 2 or 3 weeks, when things have been getting, really called out, really, kind of boiling in the pot, I'd say, he's actually kind of showing up. He's posting more on Twitter, giving more leaks. Do you notice this, or do you think that we need, more than he's doing right now?
No, I think he's starting a train of what actually used to be in the at the beginning, because obviously at the beginning was a little bit easier. And like if you ask a question on Discord, then the devs would answer like, okay, yeah, we'll think about it. They would answer back. But now you gotta find a way to do it at a massive scale, right? At a massive scale. Like how do you engage with the community at a massive scale? And be a little bit more responsive to thoughts. If somebody says, "Oh, what if we burn SLP to get skins"? If Jihos doesn't think that's a good idea, or he thinks it's a good idea, like, well, if we do that, answer at least one comment so people can see that these ideas are being like responded to, right? And I think Jihos is doing that right now. It just brings more confidence. It brings you back to the community, right? And I know it's not easy because they have a lot of shit going on, but that's something that I also criticize. Like they had to crank this up as soon as there was like all this blowing up. They had to crank it to the max,
Yeah,
and get the best of the
exactly.
best. Get the best of the best. You can't be cheap now. Like you can't be cheap. Like next year, it's like, bro, bring the best people. You know, the best people.
Exactly. So, last question we have here for you. I know in the beginning of the interview you said that you have, over $1 million invested in Axie. So, despite you being a critic of the game, of the developers, obviously you still love Axie because you're invested in it, and I can tell your passion. You just want to be part of the community and see it growing. So, is there
Of
anything
course.
is there anything that you want to say to, maybe the scholars, the developers, the managers, anyone out there that you think could really improve the game, improve the community, anything like that?
To be honest, in terms of the game, I would be talking crap if I jump into that. But I can say for at least the community and the part of the marketing, kind of like, you know, you know, just engage a little bit more with the community. Let them in, let people into the development process. Even like a little bit of a little taste of the development process. Bring them in more, because all I see is the same people getting retweeted, right? Like that's all I see. Like I
Yeah,
could I could probably right now I could probably like guess who was the last tweet. Probably Bryson or probably Elia or whatever. right? And to be honest, there was a point where I was part of that pool, right, of people that would get retweeted. Um, but there wasn't a lot of people, right, back then pushing hard for Axie. But now we have a lot of people, right? And I feel like there's only a few getting pushed, and let everybody in. Bring them in, bring them in. Engage more with the outside with the outside community, right? That's pretty much it, man. Like I feel like they just have to tackle the community a little bit more, answer questions, hard questions, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of good info out there from people who, don't even have a lot of followers too. There's some scholars who have really good ideas, but they'll never be heard unless one of the, kind of bigger influencers shows it to Jiho or, someone in the circle. So I know what you're saying to that because I've seen really good posts just, with 10 likes, 8 likes on Twitter, stuff like that.
hmm
Exactly.
I mean, I feel like the best way to empower the community to say what they want is actually through a council. Illuvium has a council. That
Mm,
doesn't mean that they make the decisions, right? It's like a filter, and it's like a little congress. Every 3 months, you can apply to be part of it, right? And then they have to look through all the requests that people have, all the proposals, and then out of the best proposals, if they see one that is good, they kind of vote on it, and then after that, they bring it to the table to the devs, and then the devs also vote on it and be like, okay, yeah, we can't really implement that. We have this problem if we do that, right? But at least there is a chat where it's almost like a suggestion channel, but like with people actually listening to you. So
yeah.
um
So Jiho, if you're starting a council, we're right here, just saying. But
yeah.
I think we're gonna conclude it here. Cagy, thanks so much for your time, man. I was a little worried because you've been taking a little heat recently, but I do think you're one of the most informed people in not only the Axie Infinity but the entire play to earn space. I mean, you've been here longer than almost everyone, and you've played and researched more games than almost everyone. So I really do appreciate your time being here, and we'll have to chat again soon.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I just want to say something for all the haters out there, trying to cancel me. I mean, bro, like, just don't do that, man. Like, what's up with you? Like, don't be weird, Like, what's up?
Use
like,
your brain.
I how, like, I don't, bro. I literally haven't blocked anybody that I disagree with. Like, what's up with that? You know, like, what's going on? You know. Anyways, I
There you
love you
go.
guys.
You
Thank you
heard it
for
here
having
first,
me.
guys. Remember, keep farming that SLP. No NFT, no play. I'm out.
Hey, no NFT, no play. Peace, man.